gently at first. I think we got it. Whoa. I don't know why I did that.
So I've always enjoyed a variety of outdoor activities, from ice fishing to regular fishing to occasional hunting for like small game. And as I found out last year, I really enjoy overlanding, I think is technically what it would be called. But in my opinion, I just call it car camping. Some of you are familiar with my 2000 Chevy Silverado that I inherited from my grandpa, who was a park ranger. I love sleeping in the back of that thing just with a cot and sleeping bag. It's perfect. But even though I do have a negative 20-degree sleeping bag, which I think is actually breaking slowly, I feel like it's not really meeting that temperature. It's kept me warm plenty, don't get me wrong. I really would like to get a diesel heater installed. I started to think to myself, I wonder if there's a way that I could get a diesel heater installed on my truck, and sure enough, there's an abundance of tutorials on how to do that on YouTube, from the very easy to the very complex and bougie. I went with the very easy tutorial, which I will link in the description. Oh yeah, and if you guys don't know what a diesel heater is, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's just a heater that's powered by diesel fuel. They're generally very small and compact, perfect for uses like this, where, you know, maybe you have a small camper or a tent that you want to keep warm, or if you're camping in the back of your truck like me, it should serve that purpose just fine. But yeah, we have all of the components that we need, except for one thing that I just now found out about. I need a hole saw arbor, which is like a little connecting adapter piece for your drill. But everything else we have, so I'm going to go ahead and start to unbox it. I figured, hey, why not take you guys along with during the install and unboxing process? So let's go ahead and get into it.
So, for this install, we have the actual heater, of course. It's made by Vevor, or Vevor, however you say it, and it is kind of like $115, $120 for this one that I got, if I remember correctly. I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, we'll be unboxing this guy today. The next couple of things that I got were these sewer hose twist-it clamps. You'll get a kit of these with these diesel heater components, and instead of these having little twisties on them, they are a screw or like a Phillips head, flat head, etc. And that's not really the best thing to set up when you are cold. I don't think you really want to whip out a screwdriver when you are cold and trying to get this thing put together. Next thing that I got is some multi-purpose expanding foam. One, because I get the feeling that we're going to need it to connect the kind of primary heater hose into the back of the truck where the topper is, and two, because my topper seal is failing, so I wanted to get some more of that. And then we have this insulated hose. This is the one that comes with the little flathead screws for the sewer clamps, like I was talking about, so we probably won't be using those for this. And then this is just some electrical wiring. It's got a cigarette lighter, 12-volt connector, which will allow you to connect it to the actual diesel heater. So that's why I got this. You'll see why this comes in handy later. And then a couple more things. I've got this hole saw. Like I said earlier, I don't have the arbor for this, which is the adapter to allow me to connect it to my drill. And then I have a CO2 monitor just in case. Only other thing that's missing here right now is the power supply, and I'm just using this. I've had it for ages. I don't even really know what brand it is, but it's like a jump starter kind of emergency electrical. It's kind of like a glorified car battery, if I'm being honest. I'll show you guys a shot of that as well. But my hope is that it'll be able to supply enough juice using these cables, and can keep this thing running for you know, like a night or two. I don't need this to run like 8 days straight or anything like that. They can run for a very long time because they're very efficient, and I'm almost positive that this is gonna go wrong. But I got some plexiglass to hopefully make a fancy insert for the topper window. I can just totally see myself shattering this or breaking it as I try to cut out the shape or like use the hole saw on it. So we'll see. If that does happen, I'm probably just gonna end up making an insert out of like plywood or something like that. But yeah, we'll give this a shot. These are actually a decent bit thicker than I had expected, which is okay, but we'll see. But yeah, that is pretty much everything that we need to be able to make this happen. Okay, so we're gonna start off with unboxing the heater itself, see everything that comes with it. Okay, so that's pretty much the full unit right there. Pretty nice. It feels pretty good. You can see it's got the exhaust on the bottom there. And then if we flip it this way a little bit, this is where we're going to be connecting the hose that leads into the topper for the truck. And then right here we got a pretty nice like thermostat, and I think this looks like it's a remote of some kind, which is pretty sweet. Like, if this is actually a remote, I'm going to be very stoked, because if I don't need to get out of the truck to like turn off the diesel heater or turn it on during the night, that's pretty massive. We'll see if that's the case, but I bet you that's what's up. I think that's pretty much it, you know, other than up here on the top, of course, you got your fill. And then I imagine that these two right here are probably going to be like fuel monitoring. I haven't really read any of the instructions yet, but that just seems extremely straightforward. So let's see what else is in this box that came with it. Okay, just some hardware. It kind of looks like a heat wrap of some kind. We got our little muffler here, which is adorable. And then looks like an additional like muffler pipe or exhaust pipe. And then this is what they give you in the box, and it's not quite as hefty as the one that I'm using, so this one feels like it's about ready to crack right now as it is. And it did come with these two plastic parts here. Yeah, looking at these wires that are coming off of it, it looks like they are stripped, so I'm thinking we might have to use some wire mend, you know, like the heat activated ones. I doubt we're gonna have to do any kind of solder, but we'll see. I'm just betting there's gonna be a tiny bit of electrical work there. We've got the new Milwaukee hole dozer with the arbor, which is that adaptation piece that I was talking about previously. You can see that the product that I bought off of Amazon did not have that, so I'm just gonna return this. But yeah, if you're gonna get one of these and do this project, definitely make sure you get one with the arbor and the like little, basically the arbor is the adapter, because that's gonna make your life easier, because this is pretty much useless without it. So, but yeah, now that we know what we're working with, let's get on to the install. I've got a little tire step. It just kind of hooks on the tire, and it's got a kind of a shelf, so I have to drill 4 holes through that in order to attach the diesel heater there properly. And then I also have a power source. Now, I don't know if this power source is going to work at all, but we're gonna give it a shot. So let's go ahead and get moving. So this guy right here is part of that tire step shelf that I was telling you about. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill 4 holes into this. Let's see how this lines up. Oh, that is perfect. It fits so well. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark these holes. All right, we got all 4 holes drilled. I do need to do one big hole here in the center for the exhaust. Okay, so we got the hole drilled for the exhaust on the heater. I put a secondary line on there just because I'm like, if we need to make it larger, we can, but I'm hoping we don't because that was quite a bit of pressure to get that to actually cut through. So I don't know a whole lot about hole saws, but maybe they're more meant for wood. They probably are, but in this case we're using it for metal and glass later. So as you guys can see, I decided to cut a second hole in there for more room. Basically underneath here we have the air intake as well as the exhaust, so I put the exhaust on there just to double check, and it seems like it's fitting nicely. So a little bit ugly underneath, but whatever, it'll do the trick. So now this is starting to come together a little bit better. Just tightening down the final bolts. Now it's just time to put back on the actual tire arm here. And we're gonna continue on our way. Try to cut some plexiglass. Okay, so this is essentially what it's gonna look like when it's on the wheel. We've got our heat coming out of here, which we're going to route up into, I think it's this window over here. Yeah. And that's where we're gonna get majority of our heat from, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so the super good news is that the plexiglass that I got is more on the plastic side than the glass side. You can see it's right here, and it's got these like, you know, plastic coverings on it to protect from any scratches, but you can tell it's got a good bend to it, which I'm excited about. You can kind of see how my window works. It just kind of slides that way. We're gonna make a little cutout here where we have a hole for the heater hose to go into. I think we got it. Whoa! I don't know why I did that. Well, now we know for sure that it's not going to break since it just went on a wild ride around the world there. Yeah. There we go. Looking good. Whoa, you need. Nice. You know, not bad. Considering my pinky is now bleeding, but you know, nothing like putting your blood, sweat, and tears into something. Even if it's supposed to be easy. It's always supposed to be easy. All things considered, that's really not too bad. I think I need a little bit more foam for like right here, but yeah, you know, that'll do the trick. Not going to lie, but getting this part on kind of like sucked, but just requires a little bit of prying and got on there eventually. Next up, I gotta put these guys on. Holy cow, I am so freaking glad that I found this clear silicone again. Thought that I ran out of it for some reason, but I guess not. It got that dap. Oh yeah, so what we're doing right now is we're taking the plexiglass, which is a lot clearer now that I removed the film that was on top of it. You can see the old one here. I'm taking this little connection piece, which goes into basically just this hose right here. Just fitting it on top. I'm gonna run some clear silicone all the way around that. Oh, the cap's already off. All right, there we go. Wonderful. Yes, yes. That was quite nice, if I say so myself. So for representation purposes, this is kind of what it's gonna look like. So we have our battery source right here, which I'm gonna mess around with next and see if it actually works for this. Then we got the diesel heater right here, and we got the ducting going up and in to the little plexiglass insert there. I definitely see why they say in the tutorial that I followed to use these hand tightening ones, because if it was a screwdriver, it'd be very annoying. Then on the inside, ooh, you can see that's our little inlet for all the hot air to come in. Of course, we'll have the foam around here to block out a lot of the cold. I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. So yeah, it's upside down again, but I wanted to make sure that my intake and my exhaust could fit where I actually drilled it. It's actually a little bit closer than I would have liked to see, but this is kind of a weird setup because the intake and the exhaust are right next to each other, so like if there's any kind of leak here, one could kind of feed off the other, where the intake pulls in some exhaust, which kind of sucks, but we'll see. We got the recommended clamps on. You can see them down there. That was awkward to work on. Had to use an extension and a wobbler to get down there, but we got it done. Also, this pipe here is basically made out of paper, so it bends extremely easily, and I don't particularly want to be fussing with the exhaust every single time that I want to set this up, so I get the feeling this is going to get very bent out of shape pretty quickly, but we'll see.
And that muffler is so cute, isn't it? It's such a cute muffler. Aww.
Okay, so I am now mucking about with the electrical spaghetti, but one thing that I noticed is that in a couple of tutorials, there's like 2 connections here which are extremely nice. This one just has the one, and it feeds its way down to a fuse, and then you just kind of have raw wires at the end. So essentially this electrical kit that I got is kind of useless, because technically there's supposed to be a positive and negative on this based on the tutorials I've seen online. So this kind of leaves me to just wire strip these and try to mend these with these. So we're gonna give that a try. Alright, check this out.
Start heating. Stop heating. Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey.
See, it works.
Start heating. Stop heating. Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey.
Incredible. I love that that works.